Hi, this is Scott Hubbard. Are you a burned out executive wanting out of your corporate job? Do you want to retire but just can't afford to? I feel that there are many good, hardworking, good family people out there who desperately want out of their corporate jobs. The declining economy and the uncertain nature of corporate America makes the situation even worse. I don't know what your situation is. I can only relate to what my situation was a few years ago, and I have been able to solve that problem. I had a successful corporate career. I have been the chief financial officer for over 20 years. I was tired of the stress on my job. I was tired of working for someone else. I was tired of working 50 to 80 hours a week. I was tired of the long commute. I wanted out of corporate America. To make matters worse, I was approaching my retirement age. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to retire. It was a scary situation for me. Having to work a job for the rest of my life just made me sick to even think about. So I looked at the various alternatives that I was considering. Number one, I could continue in my present job. I think this is probably what most people decide to do that are unhappy with what they're doing. They may not be willing to take the risk of doing something different. They may not be willing to put in the effort to learn something new. I think many times people select this alternative and they're just absolutely miserable in the years that they continue to work that job. For me, this was not an alternative. I ruled it out. Number two, I could have found another job. Depending upon your age, this could be a great solution for you. But it wasn't for me. For one thing, at my age, it would be probably very difficult to replace my salary, and just the thought of staying in corporate America, even though it was another job, it just didn't excite me. Number three, I could buy a franchise. Of course, that is very, very expensive, and besides, I think buying a franchise is similar to buying a job, and no, this was not for me either. Number four, I could buy a brick and mortar business. I could start up a business. I could buy a bookstore or a retail shop. But I think buying a business is almost the same, if not worse, than buying a franchise. So that didn't appeal to me. And then number five, I could get into a home-based business, an internet network marketing opportunity. After all, the initial investment for doing something like this was far better, far less than buying a franchise or buying a brick and mortar business. And I really felt that the upside potential was far greater. Now, there was no doubt I was an entrepreneur at heart. I was a self-starter. I was willing to do whatever it took to be successful. So guess what? I decided to get into a home business. Oh, I continued to work in my regular job, but surely in a couple of years, I would be making so much money that I would easily be able to retire. Well, unfortunately, my timetable was a little bit off. It took me a lot longer than that. This is the route that I took. It may not be the route you should take, and that's certainly okay. Tomorrow, what I'd like to do is put up another video and tell you about some of the ups and downs as I started my MLM network marketing career. Had a lot of downs. And I'm doing this hoping that maybe you might learn from some of the mistakes I made along the way. Just to let you know, I am not here to promote my own business. Absolutely to the contrary. I am not going to even mention that business. However, I will be making a couple of recommendations that I think will not only greatly reduce your learning curve, but can lead to true success if you do what I say. So feel free to send me some comments or some questions, and we'll talk tomorrow. I wish you the very best.